questions, but whichever one it is, I look good in them. Representative Aaron Schock is the youngest member of Congress. He's a Republican from Illinois. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Chris, good to be with you.
You're 29, so what, you were like 12, 13 years old then? Do you remember that President Clinton MTV town hall?
Absolutely. I watched MTV, and I remember that very vividly. So,
you know, that is exactly the kind of thing that would probably stick in the mind of a 12 or 13-year-old boy. But to serious matters, whether you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, one of the big challenges for time and memoriam has been to get young voters to the polls. And I'm wondering why you think, obviously they were energized by Barack Obama, by change, by the idea of the first African-American president in 2008. Where do you think the enthusiasm's gone, and can either the Democrats or the Republicans get it back?
Well, Chris, I think young voters are like every kind of voter, whether you're a female voter or a senior citizen voter. Young people want to be spoken to, and they want the message that's going to them to be relevant. And I think 2 years ago, President Obama struck a chord. He offered inspiration. He offered change in a stark alternative to then President Bush. Let's face it, among young people in America, there was Bush fatigue, there was war fatigue. And so the young people who were motivated to vote 2 years ago were overwhelmingly disproportionately in support of Democratic candidates and led by President Obama. Fast forward to 2 years today, and that's dramatically different. Young people today, I was on the University of Texas's campus two days ago, and the young people there are motivated by one thing: jobs. They're at the end of their college career. Young people today are wanting to get a job. They're wanting to get a better job if they have one today. They're very ambitious financially for themselves, and they're not happy with the majority in Congress and in the White House with their handling of economy. And I think at the end of the day, the young people motivated this election cycle are going to be disproportionately skewed to supporting Republican candidates.
Now, I've got three young voters here. They're very politically active, and I know you're going to stay with us, Congressman. I'm going to reintroduce Emma Elman-Golan is the president of Penn Democrats. John Mantia is the president of Fordham University College Republicans. Christopher Munden is the president of College Democrats, Boston College. Any of you remember? You're way too young to remember.
I was 4. So.
But is there a personality issue for you in this whole thing? Are you looking for someone who really can relate to you, who can talk to you, or are you just really looking at who's going to get me a job?
I don't know. I think that President Obama has the personality still to win over young voters. I mean, I think.
But then he's not running, and he's not motivating, according to the polls, the Democrats.
I think that's the toughest part for the Democratic Party right now. That he's not at the top of the ticket, but putting him on MTV and all this stuff, it's making the midterm election a lot more of a national race. And that's definitely something I see in a college, that one of the toughest problems we have is that so many students are from out of state. So getting them motivated about statewide candidates when they aren't from that state and don't know the candidates, it's much harder to get them motivated. But with a national candidate there, or a national figure, it's much easier.
And when we were talking in the last hour, you all sort of felt that there were real communications issues, that they weren't communicating on the Democratic side exactly the things you think that they've done that would appeal to young voters, that they're not reaching out to you. What can a candidate do to reach students on college campuses?
I think the most successful tool for most candidates would probably be Facebook, like the social media stuff. I know I spend a lot of my day on Facebook wasting my time. But I think it's a really effective way.
Wasting my time.
I think it's a very effective way for a candidate, to reach these pool of voters. The candidates know where the voters are, and it's just a matter of exciting them.
Congressman, do you tweet? Do you Facebook?
Absolutely use Facebook. I hope your viewers will check me out and like me and join my group. But your guests are exactly right. Social media, the problem for a lot of older candidates running for office is they're not tech savvy. And the fact of the matter is, young people don't get their information from the daily newspaper anymore. Young people get their information online. They get it through Facebook and Twitter. And so if you're a candidate not communicating through those means, the young people aren't hearing ignoring you. And so part of the struggle on Democrat and Republican parties has been getting the candidates to communicate to young people using the methods they use to get their information.
Yeah, and Chris, not to say that you're not concerned about what's going on in the world, and you certainly have expressed that all the people you talk to are worried about when they graduate getting a job. It's kind of unrealistic for them to think that suddenly 18, 19, even 22-year-olds are going to start reading a daily newspaper, start sitting down at 6:30 at night and listening to what's going on.
Exactly. And that's the benefit of Facebook and Twitter. It really gets the information out to us in a really succinct manner. Like college students are really busy, so we want to know the facts really quickly. And Facebook and Twitter are the best ways.
Do your organizations on campus have Facebook pages?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All do.
tweet.
And you tweet all the time?
Yeah.
That's the most successful way for us to get people to our events.
Well, you know, Democrat, Republican, it would be great if we could get a lot more people energized to get out to vote. There's a lot more opportunities now, early voting, mail voting, so let's hope it all happens. Thanks to all of you. I was kidding before, but it's true. They got up very early to come here and be with us, so thank you for doing that. And Congressman, we appreciate you sticking around as well. Thanks so much.
Chris, good to be with you.
Around 5 years ago, you remember this guy, Harry Whittington? He was a household name. Today, the name's a little tougher to place.